Hi there! In this video we're going to review the book Dutch for Dummies by Margreet Kwakernaak. And this book is part of the series For Dummies, where things are explained really simply to people to, explain them things, for example, a language. And that is one of the reasons why it's a rather popular book on the internet. Because it's part of the series, but also because this book is actually a fun introduction to the Dutch language for absolute beginners. So people who have no knowledge of the Dutch language, well, they want to get introduced to the Dutch language. There are many jokes and there are a lot of cultural references in the book that you can read, and you might find it really funny. So that's why I think it's one of the more popular Dutch learning books. Now, the book has several chapters, but it's not really a book that follows a clear structure. It's more a book that you open and you see it lying down in your couch, and you're like, oh, okay, let's learn how to leave a message in Dutch. Leaving a message. How do you leave a message? Okay. Well, that's interesting. Then you get some phrases, and then you learn a little bit, and then you go to another page, and then you see, oh, okay, to ask for the bill. How do I do that? How do I ask for the bill? So it's not something you start at one and then you end, and then you just continue the book. Don't use it as a typical course, which makes it a little bit funny because in the second chapter, the past tense is already discussed, which is usually something that comes later, and then in the fourth chapter, you will learn how to greet. So usually greeting is first, and then the past tense is way later. So, well, if that doesn't bother you, then this book might be good for you. The level is for beginners. And the book is completely in English. So there are phrases in Dutch, but let's say 80-90% of the text is written in English. It also has an audio CD with some exercises for Dutch, and with the Dutch accent from the Netherlands. Also important to know is that every sentence that is written in Dutch is translated. So if that gives you some kind of comfort, this book might be just for you. What do I like about the book? Well, all words and all sentences are translated, and also there is a phonetical guide for the translations. Some people might think, oh, well, you don't really need it, but it's rather useful for people who struggle with pronunciation. Also, there's a lot of vocabulary in the book, despite just having, let's say, 10-20% of the book in Dutch. There are a lot of words you can learn. What I liked a little bit less is that there are no exercises in this book. So it has nothing to do with your typical handbook where you learn a little bit and then you exercise it. No questions are there, and there's also no second book, so it's a stand-alone book. All right. Concerning the price range, it's a little bit in the middle. It's not really expensive or not really cheap. So I would conclude, well, it's a really nice complement if you're learning Dutch and you're like, oh, well, I could use something that lies around in the home, or something I would read on just before going to bed, and I would read a few chapters and that's it. So if you're looking for that, then I would really recommend this book. If you want to see more recommendations, feel free to click there to see a list of language learning tools to learn Dutch. See you there.